What is up, beautiful people? It's your wolf brother Methos from the channel Frost and Fist, and I've got another battle report for you today. Today I'll be playing my man Ethan. You've probably seen him in a few previous videos, and he's playing his Imperial Guard. Now this is different from the Imperial Guard that you saw on my last battle report with Atlas. I just happen to have two awesome friends at the store who wanted to play, and they play Imperial Guard. And so I wanted to bring you a battle report with those guys. And these are, aside from the game that you saw me play against Freak, these are the, and of course, the War Convocation match I was telling you guys about. These are honestly the last two matches I've played in. So I can't wait to get some more games in, get some more time on the table, and get some more battle reports for you guys. But let's go take a look at this army. Now you're going to see some chimeras in here, and it may be confusing because actually these are going to be proxied in for more Leman Russes. My man Ethan just doesn't have those other Leman Russes built up yet, so we proxied in a couple of chimeras to use them as Leman Russes. So anywhere you see a chimera, it will be a Leman Russ. He's got a couple different options equipped to them, and we'll talk about that as we go to deployment. Speaking of deployment, we're about to go to that. Before we do, I just want to point out, so Ethan also wanted to play at 1500 points. And you guys know I've been saying I want to play higher point value games because I want to get in this the amazing Iron Priest that Edict Beer managed to do up for me. So in this case, I begged for 50 extra points so I could put my wolf or my Iron Priest on Thunder Wolf and actually play Edict Beer's model. And so instead of 1500 flat, Ethan agreed to 1550 because he's a gentleman and a scholar. So let's take a look at his army and then go to deployment. Boom! Alright guys, we're going to take a look at deployment. As usual, my double heavy bolter speeder up top. Land Raider full of Wolfen. Grey Hunters and the Rhino with the battle leader. Got my Dreadnought on the hill. Yes! Got the Dakapret up top.
2 shots coming at them. They can get their GP if you want them. They get their cover save. But they'll get a +1.
And you guys will notice with my cavalry, I've got Edict Beers.
But they only have 2 shots.
Iron Priest on Thunder Wolf. I'm so excited to play this model. And I'm going to need his help because I've got an intense opponent today in the Astra Militarum. This is a different Astra Militarum player than last time. Say hello to Ethan. All right. These chimeras will represent 3 Leman Russes. One is a demolisher, one is a punisher, and one is a
Russ is a vanquisher.
A vanquisher. So 3 Leman Russes. You can see just tons of regular infantry, most of them with autocannon in the squad, multi-meltas, and a boxcaster in most squads. There are 2 priests on the table. And over here, we've got the big boy. We've got the mighty Baneblade.
And because I'm married to him, I'm also married to another one from the group. So that's 2 going into them with no cover save? The actual deities. Yeah. Most people call it. I'm pretty sure you don't want to go by GGP. Either Michael or Cloud. Alright, here you go. Caleb, Michael. The reason why we do nicknames is because there's actually in this room right now.
Alright guys, that's our deployment. We're going on to Space Wolves, turn 1.
comes a big hit.
All right, end of Space Wolves turn 1. Okay, the heavy bolters and the Dakar Predator did some shooting. Killed some of the killed 2 infantry over here. Did no damage to the infantry over here. The Land Raider moved forward and flatted out, popped some smoke, and is just sitting there waiting for next turn. The Rhino scooted right up to the edge of the Relic and is just standing by. No need to expose ourselves to all that tank firepower up above. The Dreadnought came down and put a las cannon shot into one of the Lehman Russes. However, failed to roll any damage. And then what's really exciting is over here, the cavalry managed to roll up onto the Baneblade barely. Okay, they made roll 12 on an 11-inch charge, but with such a tight charge, not everybody made it into the combat. So the Warlord and the Power Fist did not get to swing this round. That's going to be costly. However, the cavalry did some damage, but then Edict Beer's Iron Priest really came in and cleaned up. Okay, and at the end of this round, there are 7 hull points missing from the 9 hull point Baneblade. So Edict Beer's Iron Priest on Thunderwolf was a real champ here. Let's see how bad the retaliating fire from all these tanks are going to be as we go into Imperial Guard turn 1.
Oh, my shooting is terrible.
All right. We have had an interesting round. Imperial Guard turn 1. All right, so there was some shooting at the land speeder.
They both missed.
And the Dakar Predator, but there were misses and fails to wounds, so no damage there. The Rhino was hit by the Baneblade and was immobilized here, but conveniently immobilized right next to the Relic, so that works for me. The Dreadnought suffered multiple hits from one of the Russes,
Demolisher Russ.
From Demolisher Russ and the Baneblade. He lost an arm. And he's down to 1 hull point, but he's still continuing to fight on. He's also shaken, so he's going to be snap firing that last cannon. Blood and bloody ashes. He'll be snap firing next out. Over here, shots were fired from these tanks as well, and the Punisher took down one of the cavalry in the distance. So the one with the power spear or power lance is down. And in an unexpected maneuver, first of all, the Baneblade went for a tank shock, a Thunder Blitz, and I made my morale check, so it passed by unharmed. It still had 2 wounds left, so I chose not to death or glory. And in unexpected precedence, the blob of Imperial Guard charged the cavalry. Tons and tons of wounds down on both sides. So I'm going to remove my cavalry now, and I'm going to start removing some dead soldiers. So there's 2 dead.
These 3 right here.
3 in the front.
And 1 right here.
And 1 on the side. So just the guardsmen chose to stop the cavalry with bodies. And they are locked in combat going into Space Wolves turn 2. All right, more pandemonium on the table. We have the land speeder and the Dakar Pred come forward because they needed to make sure that they could kill as many people as possible, and we didn't want to get too far outside of range.
And kill they did.
The bolters in the assault cannon on the Land Raider wiped out much of this squad here. We have
survived.
And 1 guy survived. And Charlie's going to need a leadership test there.
The Wolfen came in, got out of the Land Raider and destroyed the Warlord, the tank commander. The Land Speeder killed the autocannon guys up top, and the heavy bolters from the Dakapred killed 4 guys up front on this base, or these ruins here. Now what's really cool, there's been some really interesting turn of events. So we come around to this other combat. First of all, the armless Dreadnought moved into close combat and rolled 2 6s on damage and blew up the Baneblade in close combat with no arms. And didn't die from the explosion either. What a badass. This one-armed Dreadnought is going to get an award, and he deserves his brand new fresh paint job. Well, don't you guys always know that when you paint up a brand new unit and you're excited to play them, they usually play poorly. You know, they usually die right away. They have bad rolls. They get focused down. But no, he earned his brand new shiny paint job. Over here, tons of dead soldiers again as the cavalry stay locked up in combat. And crazy, the Imperial Guard fought with the power of belief in the Emperor. And they believed so hard, they killed 2 cavalry. Would you believe that? So, the pack leader with the axe is dead. The sword master is dead.
And it only cost? Only cost 7 guardsmen.
And it only cost 7 guardsmen. 7 guardsmen gave their lives to take out 2 of the cavalry. But the Warlord and the Iron Priest are about to mop up. So guys, the board is getting kind of thin on both sides, but I am in the lead. 1 point for Slay the Warlord and 1 point for First Blood. So I've still got my Grey Hunters sitting right outside the objective, and now that some of the firepower is starting to calm down, I may start going for the objective, but first I got to see what kind of retaliation is going to come from Imperial Guard. Turn 2? Is this only turn 2?
Yeah, it's only turn 2.
Holy crap, so much death and devastation in turn 2. Let's see what happens with the retaliation from the Imperial Guard. All right, Imperial Guard turn 3. First of all, turn 2, this destroyer took a whole point off of the Daka Predator and stunned it for the had it shaken for the next turn, so it will be snap firing. Over here, was it the destroyer that also?
No, it was actually him.
Oh, okay, the autocannon guy?
Yep. Autocannon team.
Autocannon team took the last point off of the Dreadnought, but he died a heroic death. Guys, he got a shiny new paint job. He proved himself a hero in combat this game. It's time for me to name that Dreadnought. Over here, the Space Wolves finally wrapped up that combat. Edict Beers, Iron Priest taking out the last 3 Imperial Guard there, including the Priest. So Edict Beers, Iron Priest still working like a champ. And then over here, some shots reported into the Wolfen by the guys up top. No damage. And then of course, the Punisher pulled ahead and shot into the Wolfen, taking out one Wolfen, putting a wound on another. So they made some great saves and having some actually great rolls tonight. So things are looking pretty thin for the Imperial Guard, but we'll see what happens as we go to Space Wolves turn 3. Still nobody is holding the Relic, but Imperial Guard are closing in, and the Space Wolves have been parked there all along, so anybody can snatch it up. It could still be anyone's game. And let me show you. The Relic, of course, the weapons cache on that red disc. Okay, there's still the full squad of Grey Hunters in that Rhino with the battle leader. And some Imperial Guard camping along the side. So anybody can reach out and snatch it. Let's take a look at Space Wolves turn 3. Space Wolves turn 3, and things have gotten extra crazy. Okay, so first off, we take a look at this Land Raider. With its assault cannon, it mowed on this poor Charlie right in front.
As he was running, too.
As he was running, he got shot down in the back by assault cannons. The Hurricane Bolters took out the infantry up top. The Wolfman came over and smashed into the Punisher.
Yep.
The Cavalry came over and smashed into the Destroyer. Demolisher. The Land Speeder came up and shot some of the guys to death up top. And even the poor Dakapred, who was snap firing, managed to get a couple kills in.
Most of it was from the squad, though.
Most of it was from what?
Your squad.
Oh, right. And actually, most of the deaths came from the Grey Hunters, and the battle leader popped out, claimed the Relic, and took some shots into the infantry up top. So, not a whole lot left on the field. We've got the objective, but there are some Imperial Guards waiting on just the other side of the wall. Let's see if they can take that Relic back going into Imperial Guard turn 3. Alright, looking at Imperial Guard turn 3. The soldiers did pop up top, poured some fire into the Space Wolves, killed one dude, poor Jimmy lying on the ground there. Space Wolves did drop the Relic because Jimmy was the closest one to the Relic. But we'll go into Space Wolves turn 3 and hopefully claim it back. The autocannon team,
I said, hopefully.
The autocannon team over there shot at the Land Speeder and rolled 2 pens, but thankfully some jinking and some skillful driving, flying I guess, managed to evade those wounds. So going into Space Wolves turn 4. By the way, it does look like Imperial Guard does not have much left on the table, but because Ethan's a great guy, he chooses to play it out. Going on to Space Wolves turn 4. Alright guys, bottom of Space Wolves turn 4. The battle leader separated and claimed the objective. The Grey Hunters fired their pistols and then charged in and killed almost everybody, but awesomely enough, the Sarge kills one more Space Wolf in Overwatch, then holds his ground against 3 Space Wolf Grey Hunters. That Sarge right there is a badass. Over on this side, the Cavalry sweep in and claim the remaining autocannon guy. And we're going to go into Imperial Guard turn 4. And the last of the Imperial Guard is tied up in combat here, so we may be looking at a table win going into bottom of turn 4. Alright guys, bottom of turn 4, and the Sarge did fall as soon as combat started, so that is a tabling. We have the Relic, the opponent is tabled, and so that is a Space Wolf victory. Ethan, my man, epic fist bump, boosh. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, we gotta have more games.
We do gotta have more games.
Alright guys, we are back. That was a crazy game. I cannot believe how that game played out. I mean, being able to, seize, being able to, make that 11-inch charge, roll to 12 on an 11-inch charge and managed to make it into combat with the Baneblade. I got so lucky on the tank shock from the Baneblade, and I managed to really get lucky that I didn't take that bad of a beating from all the firepower of his turn, and ultimately the dice gods were with me this game. Once I made it to his tank line, of course, I did wreck some stuff up, and so I really felt like this was it was definitely a good showing for the Space Wolves. My man Ethan played well, but just one of those cases that the dice happen to be hot for me, which never happens, by the way. I'm usually the guy who fails all of his armor saves and makes rolls ones when I'm trying to charge. But you know, this was awesome. And you go back and take a look at a Wolf Brother Wednesday I did a couple weeks ago. I've been rolling it hot ever since I took the Kablams dive off of my gift shelf, you know, and actually started keeping them in my dice bag. So this has been really awesome. Thank you, Kablams the man, because ever since I started rolling with your dice, not even just the Kablams dice, but like all of my dice rolls have been pretty hot lately. So thank you so much. Alright guys, if you like this battle report and you want to see more, then grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor, and drop me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of today's battle. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then we would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time guys, stay frosty.